Hey guys, so today we are going to plan for February. January was a little bit strange. Around the 11th, my husband, daughter, and I all came down with COVID. So we basically have spent the last 3 weeks being sick and just resting. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice. But basically, our plans for the month kind of went out the window when we all got sick. So going into February, we're just kind of resetting, taking this time to catch up on some work that I missed out on in January. But also because of it, dinners and things like that got pushed forward because there was a lot of nights that we just did takeout or didn't really eat dinner at all. So I'm going to show you my Notion account, which is where I do all of my planning for both my business and personal. And then I'm also going to show you how we have been meal planning using this big old recipe binder to kind of go through and plan our meals for the entire month. And we'll just kind of see how this goes. Also, I am finally filming this from my desk area. My husband and I built this like whole area over here in the dining room so we can actually sit down and do work and still keep an eye on the little one. So you can see like her play stuff behind me, but this is going to be our new setup, which is just so nice to actually have a designated desk finally. So let's jump right in. The first thing I'm going to do is open up my dashboard in Notion, which looks like this. It does look a little bit different from last month. I've changed some stuff. If you guys want like an in-depth look, let me know. But basically, I just have all of my quick access stuff on top here. The first thing that I'm going to go to is my reset. So this is for every week and every month. I work through all of these items that just kind of help keep me on track throughout the month. I already updated my budget off camera, nothing too exciting there. I'll talk about my budget at the end here. We started doing our taxes, so we had all of our like W-2s and paperwork and things. We got those all organized and put together. First thing we're gonna do is jump over to the calendar and update any events that need to be updated on here. So let's go to February here. February is a pretty quiet month. We have a lot of birthdays, but most of them are extended family, so we're not gonna like celebrate or anything. It's more of sending a birthday card. And then you can see we already have the first week of meals planned because like I said, we were sick. So we shifted a bunch of the meals over. We also are getting a HelloFresh box for the first 3 nights. Long story there, but basically the first thing I wanna do is plan out our dinners for the month. So what we've been doing is we have been ordering a ton of HelloFresh over the last few months, mostly because of the convenience, partially because I love their recipe cards and we like being able to reuse them. So we're only getting 1 HelloFresh box and it's actually my sister's, but basically I have all of the HelloFresh recipe cards in this binder here. And what we're gonna do is take out the ones that we had for last month and we'll put in all of the recipes in the order that we want to do them for this month. We have other recipes other than HelloFresh, stuff from the back of pasta boxes, family recipes, just our own meals and things. But this makes it really easy just to be able to pull out when it's time for dinner and kind of cook. At the front of our recipe book, we also have the pressure cooker cheat sheet so that we can quickly reference that. And then we also have our sous vide cheat sheet so that depending on how we're cooking our food, we kind of have those instructions right at hand. So I'm gonna pop these guys out and go through this real quick. So here are all the meals that we did this month. I still have some meals that we have yet to do. So I'm gonna start with those at the front and basically go through and match up so that every day has its own meal in here. Now, like I said, we are getting a HelloFresh box this week. So what I need to do is place in here some blank dividers, so that way when we get the HelloFresh recipe cards, we can slide them right in here and we know when we're going to do those. So for example, tomorrow we are going to just do breakfast for dinner, and then we'll do HelloFresh for 3 days. So I need 3 blank inserts. And then for breakfast for dinner, that's kind of like our lazy meal. We do that every once in a while. We usually do it towards the end of the month when we know we won't feel like grocery shopping, but we kind of need some meal ideas. Usually that just means pancakes, waffles, maybe French toast or breakfast burritos. Something that's just quick and easy. We have all the supplies here and stuff that we can make relatively fast. So then after that, I just start putting all of these in order for what we're going to be cooking. All right, so we've got the first week of meals in there. And then at the back of the recipe book, we have all of the meals that we didn't do last month. So I like to try to go through these first, just so we're cycling through a lot of different meals. I probably have about 50 different recipes in the binder. And then on top of that, we also have like some other recipe cards. Like you can see, this is our breakfast for dinner meal, and then we have like some of these like home recipes or things that we've printed off websites. So the first thing that I try to do is go through all of these meals and pick stuff that we haven't done in the previous month, and then we'll go through some of our tried and true favorites that we try to do every month just because our family really likes them. I'll try to, as I'm kind of going through this, make sure that I pull like maybe 4 or 5 meals that have chicken breast in them. That way when we buy it in bulk, I can make sure that we're actually using all of the meat in a reasonable amount of time. I also try to pull like a variety of things. So I don't pull like 18 taco meals or something that has a lot of potatoes, because I know that it'll be harder to mix that in. So like I have steakhouse pork chops with potatoes and green beans. This is figgy balsamic pork with green beans and potatoes. Those are very similar meals, so we'll hold off and do this next month. Okay, so once I've gone through and I've gotten the meals, I have fish and veggie meals. I have pork. Then we've got ground beef and chicken meals. So the first thing that I do is I count them up to see how many days we have in the month and how many meals I have. I might need to pull more meals or maybe plan some into March depending on how many I've pulled. Okay, so I only have enough meals to get us through the 23rd. So I'm definitely gonna have to pull more meals, but I think what I'm gonna do first is figure out how many of each kind of meat I have, and that way I can plan the meals based on what meats we need. For example, for ground beef, I only pulled 2 meals, but we can buy ground beef in bulk for fairly cheap. So I probably wanna plan at least 2 more meals of ground beef so that way we can use it. I also know that we have tilapia in our freezer, and we don't have any tilapia meals pulled. So I'll probably plan a couple of tilapia meals so that way we make sure that we use that up and it doesn't go bad. Okay, so now that I have all the meals in the binder and in the order that I want, I'll start to put them into Google Calendars, and then this is where I'll start to add in additional meals that maybe we don't have recipe cards for, or planning certain events. For example, it's my husband's birthday this month, so we will probably go out to dinner or cook something kind of special, probably something that's not on a meal card here. So I want to make sure that we plan around those kind of events, and then also plan a couple of breakfast for dinner nights just to use up some of the stuff that I know we have in our pantry. So how I do this is I uncheck all of my calendars except for my dinner calendar, and that way I can clearly see only dinner, and also whenever I click to create a new event, it'll just automatically choose the dinner calendar. So now that I have them all added to the calendar, what I'll do is start to move these around and be able to plan what day we want to space these out to. So basically I need to plan through the 28th. So what I'll start doing is shifting some of this. Fridays we are home all day, so it makes it very easy for us to cook a little bit more of like the hard to cook meals or things that need to be done all day. So I think this Friday we will do some stew. That way we can start it in the morning. I'm just gonna keep shifting things around. I think we'll do a pizza night the next Friday because we like to make it homemade and make the dough and everything, and obviously that takes a little longer Then, like I said, for my husband's birthday, we'll probably do something special, so I'm just gonna put out to dinner. And if we end up going out on a different night, then we can move those meals around accordingly. We can definitely throw in a breakfast for dinner. And then we only need one more meal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and actually flip back to the back of my binder and just find one more thing that we can quickly do that would maybe make sense at this point. Let's do this, creamy chive chicken. Okay, so that's how we actually plan the meals, but we still need to make the actual grocery list in order to do these. So what I like to do is just have my binder open next to me, so that way I can see the recipe and see all of the ingredients. And then on the right of my calendar, you can see that I have one of my task lists open. You can do that by clicking on tasks right here. If you don't see it, you can search the add-ons and just search for task, and it should pull up in here. I think it's a default app though, so you can just add it straight into there. So what I'm going to do is start with the 4th, because that is where we are starting our grocery list. And we actually already have everything for that one, so we're starting with the 5th. So what I do is any kind of fresh vegetable, I'll put a due date on. That way I know that there's a specific date that we are using that. For example, we need lemons. I don't want to bulk order lemons for an entire month because they won't be good by the time we get to the end of the month. We order fresh fruits and veggies every week. We get it from Misfits Market. I'll link to them down below if you're interested. Basically, they send you fruits and veggies that aren't good enough for the grocery store. They're still perfectly good. They just might look funny or be extra large or be extra small or whatever it is. And basically, we try to order as many of our groceries that we need for the week through that. And then anything additional to that will actually go to the grocery store and pick up. So I will add due dates to everything on the list that we might need to order the week prior, or maybe pick up that evening depending on what we can get from Misfits. If there's a lot of fruits and veggies that we need close together, for example, we need limes for 2 different meals. So on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, we need limes. I'll just add them all to Saturday the 6th, and I'll basically go up to like 4 days out because I know the limes will at least last that long. So if we go grocery shopping on the 6th and get the things that we need for the next few days, that's the easiest way to kind of cut back on trips to the grocery store, or just kind of consolidate some of that grocery shopping down into one day. Okay, so that is all of the dinners for the month with the complete grocery list that will take us throughout the entire month. What we'll do probably next weekend is we will go big grocery shopping. So we'll go to Sam's Club, King Soopers, and Sprouts if needed, and we'll get all of the meat and the canned goods in bulk. We'll also get some stuff that we can freeze, like some of the fruits and veggies, and then we'll get some of the core items like bread, onions, potatoes, all in bulk, so that way we can save a little bit of money with that. And then, like I said, we will use Misfits Market each week for fresh fruits and veggies. And then we also get a dairy delivery from a local dairy farm. And they do like sour cream, cream cheese, yogurts, things like that too. So anything dairy related, we'll order from them each week. So basically each week we should be able to get delivered everything that we need. And if there's anything specialty that we need to pick up, we can just pick it up from Sprouts or Whole Foods on our way home from work. So that is how we do our dinners. It's kind of a lot of planning that took about 30-40 minutes, and I'm pretty well organized with the recipe book already. But once you do it, you only have to do it once a month, and that saves us so much time and money doing it this way and being able to buy things in bulk. So if you're curious about a little bit more detail on how to plan your groceries for a month, or if you need some ideas for some dinners, I'll link down below to my blog post where I like walk you through all of it step by step and kind of show you how I do it. So that was a lot, but we can check that off of our reset. So what we do every week is that we will order those groceries, and then I also pull out my outfits for the week. I usually save that for Sunday nights, but I'll pull all of my outfits for the entire week and get them ready in my closet. And I do the same thing for my daughter. It just makes getting ready for work a lot easier. We have to be at work at 6 a.m. and it's about a 20 to 30 minute drive in the mornings. So we are up bright and early. It's a lot easier not to have to think about the weather or think about what to wear that day. It's much easier to just pull it from the closet and know that your outfit is ready. So I usually do those on Sunday night once, we get as close as possible, so that way we can keep an eye on the weather app and try to plan accordingly. But beyond that, we also try to schedule certain days of the week at the beginning of the month. So the first day that we'll plan is a reset day. This is a day to get all of the crap done that we don't want to do throughout the month, like changing light bulbs, checking fire alarms, or cleaning up the yard, things that are just chores that have to be done around the house regularly, but maybe we don't really enjoy doing them. So usually we'll plan this on a day when my daughter is being babysat. It just makes things a lot easier. And that's also a day that we use to run all of our errands, do our cleaning. A lot of times we'll go grocery shopping that day as well. So I'm not going to plan this yet. I'm going to chat with my parents and see if there's a day they can babysit this week. And that way we can kind of have our reset day. We also try to plan a family date day, which might be something like going to the zoo. It might just be going to the park, doing a picnic, or maybe it's just a movie night, just something where we plan it ahead of time. We know we're going to do a family date night and we plan something fun to do together. We also do a couples date night, me and my husband. Lately haven't been doing that because of the COVID shutdown. There's nowhere to really go, but we'll at least get a babysitter for a couple of hours, watch a movie together without having to worry about the baby, or we might order a meal or something. This month we'll probably plan this for my husband's birthday, so that way we can do something to celebrate. We also try to plan a girls' night, guys' night, and a Bible study night. We haven't been doing this because we are keeping our distance from our friends, but we do want to do a game night soon. All of our friends have now had COVID, so it makes it a little bit easier to get together. So we'll have to chat with them and figure out a night to do some card games and stuff like that. And then we also plan self-care days for each other. So this is a day where we basically take on all the responsibility and give the other person a complete break. They don't have to clean, they don't have to change diapers, they don't have to help with the dogs, they don't have to do anything around the house. They can do whatever they'd like that day with no adult responsibilities at all. So these are super important for our sanity, and we always try to plan these every month, although we have been pretty bad about it lately, so we definitely need to get these on the calendar. So what I'll do is go back into the Google Calendar. My husband and I share this personal calendar so he can see all of the nights as well. And basically we'll sit down and chat about when we would like to do these and get them scheduled out. On top of that, we'll do family meetings, which basically is just discussing what our schedule is for the week. My husband is in his last semester of school, so he has a lot of homework, essays, group projects, things like that. And basically he'll tell me what days he needs me to just handle things at night so he can do his homework, and I'll tell him what days I need to get some work done or film videos. We'll also discuss all the dinner plans, talk about the budget, and talk about any prayer requests that we have for each other. So once all of the meal planning and family nights are planned in the calendar, next thing I like to do is go into my when did I last list. So this is a list that I started earlier last year, and basically it's a list of all of the adult chores that have to be done. That way I can make sure that we are actually doing these things regularly. So some of them are taking the pets to the vet. Other things are washing makeup brushes or changing filters. Some of them I have not done in an embarrassingly long time, and others are things that I just have forgotten to update on the list. So what I'll do is go through the list and make sure that there's no upcoming appointments or things like that, and then also make sure that we are, keeping things tidy. So for example, taking the pets to the vet, all of them are now up to date on their shots, and our vet sends reminders, so I don't have to keep too much track of these. It's pretty easy to remember, but there are certain things like changing the cat litter. Every once in a while we will completely empty the cat box, not just clean it, but dump out the litter, deep clean the entire box. And we like to do that at least every month. So we actually just did that. So basically I'll just add a date a month out, so that way I remember that it needs to be done around that time. Okay, so that's my when did I last list. The other list that we try to reference regularly is our home maintenance checklist. So this is basically very similar to the last list, but this is all stuff that has to do with our house. I actually have this as a template, so if you want to see all my Notion templates along with this one, I'll link to that down in the description box. But this is the same kind of thing. I try to organize it by season. Luckily we're in the winter, so there's not a ton of stuff to do, but we do try to do all of the monthly stuff regularly. And as we get into this new month, we need to check some of these. So we haven't been very good about filling out like when we actually completed these. So my goal this month is to do all of the monthly things and then actually put the date that we do them. Also to do some of the stuff that's not as fun, like vacuuming our refrigerator coils. I don't think that's been done since we moved in, which has been about 6 months, so we need to do that. So basically over on the side here, what I'll do is just add some notes, and I'll just check all of the items that I think need to be done this month, and that way I can go through and uncheck them as I complete them. So the last thing that I will do is open my trigger list. And what this is just a big list of things that will help to trigger any to-dos that I might have. Basically anything that needs to be done, I'll either check it off or I'll actually physically write out a plan to do those things in my paper planner. So this is the finisher's journal. And basically what it is week by week, it is a daily planner. So every day you have your most important task of the day, 2 secondary tasks, and then 5 additional tasks that you want to complete. It also has a little schedule on the right side, and then there's a page for notes and ideas. I did talk about this in last month's plan. But then at the end of each week, there's a review and there is a plan page to help you just kind of plan out what you want to get done. This is strictly for business, or that's what I use it for. You could use it for anything. But I use it for my business first and foremost, but I will add some of our reset list or whatever to my daily notes. So in my notes and ideas for each day that I want to complete these things, I'll just make a little note to do that. So that way somewhere I have a list and a rolling checklist of things that need to get done. So I'm going to go through my home maintenance. I'm going to go through my when did I last, and then I'm going to go through my trigger list and write down all of the tasks and things that we want to do for our reset day. And then also write down things that need to be done on specific days, like any appointments or things that I want to actually schedule on a specific day at a specific time. Okay, so I have made a full list of all of the tasks that I need to get done in February, basically throughout the next few weeks. As I'm planning each day, I'll flip to this page and see if there's any tasks that I can complete just in my regular day-to-day. And then towards the end of the month, we have a reset day planned where my mom will watch my daughter, and then my husband and I can basically get done anything that haven't been completed yet on this list. And there's a lot of things on here, ranging from cleaning out the freezer to vacuuming the basement to patching some holes in the ceiling that we need to patch. It really just kind of depends on the day. There's a variety of projects. Some are quick little 5-minute tasks that we've been putting off, and others are entire projects that will take part of a day. So it really just depends how we kind of plan our schedule, but having this like regular list to reference just really helps us make sure that we're keeping up on the house, we're keeping up on the chores, and we're just getting all the little things done for projects and things that we've been wanting to do. So that is it. That is how we kind of plan our month. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Like I said, everything that I've talked about is going to be linked below, but if there's anything that's missing, just shoot me a comment. And other than that, you guys have a great start to your February, and I'll see you in the next video.